Hey guys, hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and all the links are down below. So today I'm going to talk to you about gel eyeliners. I have a bunch of them here in my hand. So I'm going to do like a compare video. I did a couple of these before. The ones I can't say is I own a Morphe gel eyeliner, but I own mine in blue. So it's like this aqua color. So unfortunately I can't compare this with these because I'm talking about specifically black eyeliner, but I own a couple different colors of these and I can tell you a little bit about the consistency. These are pretty dry, but I'm not going to do a full review with these included because they come in a different color. And same with the NYX gel eyeliners. I have mine again in an aqua color, I have it in blue, red, all those different ones, but unfortunately I'm not doing a compare video with these two because I don't have them in black. Now, for the other ones I'm talking about, I'm going to be comparing the Maybelline Eyestudio Gel Eyeliner, the L'Oreal Infallible Gel Eyeliner, I have the e.l.f. Cream Eyeliner, and then I have my Essence Gel Eyeliner. So let's get right into it. So number one for price and packaging, the first one I'm going to talk about is the Maybelline one. It is about $8. I'm going to have all the prices and everything listed in the down bar just in case I get any of this messed up because I'm going from pure memory. So this one is in a glass jar and it is about $8. The cap comes right off and you have a good amount of product in here. You have exactly 3 grams in this little jar. For the next one, the L'Oreal Infallible one, which I believe is like $9 or $10. Again, it comes in another glass jar, silver cap where the other one was black. Comes with a fair amount of product in it. It comes with exactly, so this one comes with 2.3 grams. So right now the Maybelline does have more than the L'Oreal Infallible does at the moment. Okay, now the next one is the e.l.f. Cream Gel Eyeliner. This is $3 and this comes with 4.7 grams. So among all the ones so far I've showed, this does come with the most. This is not glass, this is plastic. And for packaging, it is so plastic that it's very sometimes difficult to get the cap back on because the ridges where you screw the cap back on is plastic. And then for the last one, which is also $3, this is the Essence Gel Eyeliner and it comes with 3 grams. So this comes with the Maybelline, same amount. It is like glass plastic mixture and it comes in a jar. So at the moment, e.l.f. has the most amount of product for $3. Then Essence has the next amount of product for $3 and it comes with 3 grams. Maybelline also has 3 grams, but this is around $7 to $8. And then the least amount is the L'Oreal Infallible, which is the most expensive at like $9 or $10. Now for colors, I have all of these. This one is in Blackest Black, the L'Oreal Infallible. Maybelline one is also in Blackest Black. The gel eyeliner by Essence is in Midnight in Paris, number 1, the blackest one you can get. But for the e.l.f., I also have mine, and it's called Midnight. This is actually a bluish one. So I don't own this in black, but it's the same exact formula. So I'm going to talk more about formula, less about colors. In my swatch video, I had put which one is the darkest, which one isn't. Now, when I'm talking about colors, I'm going to talk about the whole satin matte finish and the consistency subject category. But when it comes to colors, I do have to say the Maybelline Eyestudio is the blackest among all the ones I've shown here. The reason it doesn't come across the blackest is because it is so dried out, which again I will talk about in the consistency category. So Maybelline is the blackest one. The next one that is the darkest, I would have to say, is the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the second darkest one. It is pretty black. It is not as black as the Maybelline, but it is still pretty black that you can't even notice it. And then the third blackest or darkest is the Essence Gel Eyeliner. Again, this is pretty black, but it does have more of that brownish undertone to it. So although it is black, it's not the darkest among the ones I'm showing you. And then I can't really say anything for the e.l.f. just because I do have mine in blue. But obviously it comes in last because it's not in black. Now for 3, wear time. This is where it kind of gets interesting because some of these gel eyeliners I have here don't last long at all. The reason you purchase gel eyeliners is because a lot of times felt tip or liquid eyeliners don't last long on your eyelids. I completely understand. I used to wear regular like the Dip In Wet n Wild one and I would get all the way on the bottom of my eyes and it was so annoying. So I first picked up this Maybelline Eyestudio one. Now this this lasts a very long time. I would say this lasts about 10 hours, but by the 8-hour mark I would notice it to fade a little bit. And by that time it starts fading, the wing on the side is not as sharp. So after the time continues to go on, I do notice my wing to be a little bit less sharp just because it has faded a bit. But it does not transfer anywhere else and it basically does last. And as for water, I will like wash my face and scrub it, and I will still have some residue left over it, so it lasts pretty well, but this is not waterproof by any means. Now, the next one, which is also not waterproof, is the L'Oreal one. The L'Oreal one lasted me about 11 hours, so it lasts about an hour longer than the Maybelline one before it starts like disappearing in spots. My wing wound up lasting like up until that 11-hour mark. I didn't really notice any fading with the wing like I did with the Maybelline one. So this one does last a pretty long time. So if you have oily or hooded eyelids, this one is pretty good for the longevity of it. Now the next one I'm talking about is the Essence Gel Eyeliner. This lasts about the same as the Maybelline. And the wing did last up until the 10-hour mark. So far these two, the L'Oreal and the Essence, wings lasted the longest. Maybelline didn't, but the rest of the actual like eyeliner up on the eyelid lasted quite long. Now the e.l.f. one, this lasted, I think, a total of like 4 or 5 hours for me. It didn't last very long before my wing was almost completely gone. So unfortunately for this, it does not last quite as long. But there are solutions to this. If you mix a little bit of Inglot Duraline, which I have a video on it, if you want me to link it down below, I will. It will last it a little bit longer because it almost seals it into place. So if you need something to last a little bit longer, like a gel eyeliner, just mix a little bit of Inglot in it. Now when it comes to number 4, consistency. So starting with the Maybelline. Maybelline dried out within like 3 months. It was completely dry. It still is a little bit dry, but this is about 3 years old. So I do have to say that a new one might be creamier, but I've heard from other people too that within a couple of months this does dry out. So this is the driest, which could be why my wings don't last as long, because it's very hard to get that precise wing when it's basically a little bit dried out. And I have like black all over me from these swatches, and I did like a rub test. So I do like this one though because it is a drier formula. You don't want eyeliners to be a little bit too creamy because then they bleed all over. So I do love the consistency of this. I just hate that it gets dry so fast. I mix a little bit of Inglot Duraline and it works great. But for people that don't have this, it doesn't last very long. Now for the L'Oreal one, for the consistency, this has to be the second creamiest one I have. But even though it lasts 11 hours for me, it's harder to get that precise line because it is so creamy. Now, I think this is almost a little bit too creamy for me that I don't touch it as often, but I still do enjoy it. And if I need like a smaller wing, it's faster to go with this because when I use my Maybelline one, since it is dry, sometimes it skips a little bit. So I do like my L'Oreal for that, but when I want a regular wing, I don't really tend to use this because it is so creamy. Now the next creamy one is e.l.f. This is like too creamy for me. It gets to the point where it's like all over. And you can be great at gel eyeliner or eyeliner in general. It's just so creamy that I don't even know what to do because it is that creamy. So for me, the only time I really use this one is if I want blue eyeliner, dark blue, because it's the only dark blue eyeliner I have. I do have like blue ones like I mentioned in the beginning with my NYX and my Morphe. But yeah, this is too creamy for me. And the last one is my Essence one, which I have been loving. It is creamy, but I would say it's in between the Maybelline and L'Oreal. So the Maybelline is dry, and then the L'Oreal is really creamy. It's right in between, so it's not too creamy or too dry. So I'm loving the consistency of this. It's lasting me a very long time, and overall, I feel like they nailed it on the consistency. It's amazing. I'm like glad I picked this up. And number 5 for other and personal, I'm just going to insert the swatches in here so you can see how black and everything else is. So I'm going to show you swatches of the gel eyeliners. Here I have 4 different eyeliner tools. The only one that's been used that's not been cleaned is the silicone one, which I'm going to dip in my Essence one because Essence was the last gel eyeliner I used, so I don't have to worry about the colors mixing. But the reason I'm doing these swatch type things is to show you how black these certain eyeliners are. So I'm going to dip the one into Essence and give you a swatch on the back of my hand. And then you can also kind of see how creamy it is, and I will zoom in so you guys can see how each one is. Just so you know, for each swatch, I am doing 2. I'm dipping it in once and then getting the rest on the back again. So I'm only actually dipping it into the pot once, but just going over it twice. Okay? I'm doing my Maybelline Eyestudio now, and I'm using this angled liner brush. This, I don't know where it's from. So dipping it into the Maybelline one, and then on the back of my hand. Okay? Now remember, for the e.l.f. one, I don't have it in black, but I'm going to give you a swatch so you see how creamy it or dry it could be. Dipping it in. I'm going to go actually right here. Go over it one more time. And then the last one is my L'Oreal Infallible one, and I'm using another liner brush. I don't know where I got it from. Do this right here. Then go over it one more time with the excess. For my stamp, okay, so this one right here is the Essence one. This is the third darkest, so it is not the blackest among them all, but I'm going to do this test. As you can see, it is not waterproof. It does last a while, but remember, again, it is not waterproof. This middle one right here is the blackest one. Unfortunately, you can't see how black it is because it is dried out. This is the Maybelline one, and I'm going to do with a different finger. And this one does last better than this first one did, and as you can see my fingers. And this one right over here is the e.l.f. one. It is not black because I don't have mine, but as you can see, it rubs off pretty easily. And then with the last pinky finger right here is a L'Oreal Infallible, which is the second darkest. As you can see, it rubs off again pretty well. So now you can kind of see how long they would last if rubbed and how black and creamy they look. The e.l.f. one is the creamiest. It rubbed off the easiest. The Essence one is the second creamiest. It rubbed off the second fastest. The L'Oreal is the third because it rubbed off the third fastest. And then the Maybelline didn't really budge as much, but it is pretty dry. And as, again, for black, Maybelline is the blackest, the L'Oreal is the second darkest, Essence is the third, and then the e.l.f. is the fourth. Even though the e.l.f. is the fourth darkest, it's because I don't have it in black. I have it in blue, so I can't give you a fair say on how black it is. But really, I have no complaints, but I'm going to give you my ratings on them and tell you which one I love best. So for the Maybelline one, I have to give this one a 8 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 is because people don't want to spend an extra $10 to get Inglot Duraline. If you have it sitting around your house, great. That's perfect. You don't even need to worry about this. You can ignore this. But this is for the people that don't really know a lot about makeup or just want a gel eyeliner. It's kind of a hassle to have to purchase another $10 extra item to, you know, make this work. Even though it's worth it because you'll get a lot of different items to be like rejuvenated. But for other people that don't want to purchase it, it's kind of a waste that this dries out in 3 months. But for me, I probably will continue to repurchase it because I do like my eyeliner to be a little bit on the drier side. For the Essence Gel Eyeliner, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This is my favorite among all of them. I'm going to say that right now. I think it's absolutely perfect, and you get the most amount of product for the cheapest. Even though the e.l.f. does have more product for the same price, I do find this to be, I'm not a big fan of it. So Essence is definitely my favorite, and for $3, you're getting 3 grams of product. It's going to last you a while, and I've had this many, many months now, and it has not dried out. For the L'Oreal Infallible being $9 or $10, I have to give this a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. This basically ties with the Maybelline one because this does last the longest. The only problem is that it is very creamy, and for me, that's just not my type. If you like creamy gel eyeliners, maybe you have drier eyelids than me, this would be great. But I have to give this between a 7 and 8 out of 10 just because I feel like it's a little bit too creamy, and it's also not the blackest. And then I have to give this one a 6 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a completely bad rating. It could just be that this is just too creamy for me, that it doesn't last as long. But I've heard other good things about it, so I really think it depends on your skin tone for this specific one. But if you are oily like me and you don't like your eyeliners to be literally liquid cream, then skip on this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope things cleared it up a little bit for you. I'm sorry I couldn't do the Morphe Black Gel Eyeliner since everybody's been using it. I am actually just not a fan of that one. I think it is dry to a bone, but maybe they've reformulated since I purchased those gel eyeliners. So if you want to see more videos like this, let me know, and I hope you guys all have a great day.